Welcome to my Lego City. I've got a lot planned for this update. I'm going to start off by getting Green Gots Bank finished up and placed back into the city. And then I got the Bricklink order Parisian Street finally came in, so we're going to build that, light it up, and get it placed. We also picked up a few other sets, but I'm not quite sure if I'm going to build them yet. So I'm super excited to get started on Parisian Street. I ordered it a few months back, and probably my favorite part about it is it has an open back. So I think what I'm going to do is get it built and place it up to the back of Diagon Alley here. I had to get it mills plated. I also finished up the ground floor, and that consisted of the first two bags. Now I've finished up the first floor, and I've also started to add some lights. So let's get it finished up. And I did get the first floor plugged in just so I could see how the lights look so far. And I really like these two lights I have in the alleyway. So let's go ahead and keep on continuing. And I did end up finishing Parisian Street. I love the color scheme. That tan and then dark blue really go nicely together. And then it also came with a bunch of minifigures. I also finished lighting it all up. The back is an absolute mess. Let's take a closer look. And here I have it with the lights on. A little harder to see with the window behind it, but we'll check it out when it's into the city. I wanted to add probably another light to that fountain and maybe these two lampposts I got up front, but I have to order some more lights and wait on that. And then I did end up leaving a few rooms without lights just so there was like a variety, people being awake or not. And as promised, here's a look at the back. An absolute mess. I think I got at least 20 LEDs just in this build, and so the wire management is a problem. And there's where I was thinking of placing it, just because Diagon Alley has an open back, and so does this building. And there's a few problems, like the stairs leading right into Diagon Alley, as well as the roof being a little bit taller, and then there's some light bleeding through, but I think I've got a few solutions. I was thinking of maybe putting a wall in between just to stop all the light bleeding through and then cover up some of those gaps. And I also have this part, which is also a bit taller, and that's okay. I knew this wasn't going to be perfect, but I really wanted to cover up the backs, and then I'll kind of fill in the gaps from there. And just like that, I think I've already got a change of plans. I've pushed Parisian Street a bit further just to make that gap wider, and what I'm thinking now is that I can probably get an alley placed inside there. So I've started construction on that. I actually had to cut some base plates just so it's the right size. And here we have the start of it. And I really like that burnt orange and teal combination of colors. I think it makes the eye pop. But I have to be careful with how much depth I have because I really only have about 4 studs to work with. And just like that, I've already changed it because the dark orange was just a little bit too deep with the balcony it had. But I am definitely making some progress. I love the piping on this part of it. And then I'm in the middle of adding some lights. But I'm running out of masonry bricks. Finally found a way to finish up this alleyway, and I really love how it's turned out. It's not completely finished, but my favorite part is probably that double wall and then those garage doors at the bottom. I still need to add some details to the floor as well as populate it with people. But this might be the best look we have at it before I cover it up. Now, after pulling out all my masonry bricks and detail pieces just to finish up that alleyway, the room is an absolute mess. So what I'm going to do now is take a minute and get this all cleaned up. Super clean, super quick. Just don't look in the closet. Now let's take a closer look at that alley that I finished. But just before we get into that, here's the other wall to the alley I've just constructed. It's definitely a lot less detail, but I had to try and use some of the parts I had in bulk, which ended up being like a lot of panels and then those pieces from the pad wall. But I do like the use of signs as well as the piping and the clothes coming off the side. I just wanted to make the area look a little bit more chaotic and busy. And now I've run into the issue of hiding all the wires. And, the boxes with all the USBs, my extension cords. So it's time to come up with a better plan. And here I have the finished alleyway. I really like the cyberpunk vibe I get from it. It's kind of hard to focus in at the end of it, but I promise it looks amazing in person. And we got a little bird's eye view. I still want to fix up those roofs. And another focus I'm going to turn my attention to is covering up the light and those cracks right here, and I'll probably put like a frontward facing building. Maybe a pizza shop or something, just a few studs to work with. And then I'll probably cover this part of the table when I order some more masonry bricks or maybe like a ground dirt look. And I have this area here where I was trying to probably put like a seating area or a fountain, maybe a place for people to eat, and I'll get to work on that later. But let's see if I can actually get a better view from this side. I just got to get it to focus, and I've probably actually got to change the camera. There we go, a little fuzzier, but at least you can kind of see all the way down. Once again, it's very tight. I probably should have maybe given myself 2 more studs to work with, but that's a problem for future me. Now I still have to add it back to this Chinese restaurant here to cover up all those wires. And here's a view looking all the way down the alley. It's roughly 4 base plates long. I'm really happy with the progress made to the city this update. I think this part of the city is really coming together. And then, I still have to clear off this section, and I'll probably put like some low-rise Harry Potter buildings. I'm not really sure, so if you have an idea, let me know down below. I'd appreciate it. Just something small to lead up to Green Gods Bank. But then that whole section of the city is pretty much done. I've got a few base plates right there where I could put some buildings underneath the shelf over there, and then this green area. I've got to decide if I want to keep it a green area or add more. Of course, the room's already back to being a mess because I tried cleaning out the closet to make room for some new orders. But I think that's where I'm going to leave it for this city update. Make sure to stick around because we have a lot of plans for next update, and make sure to subscribe. Have a great one.